On Christmas Eve 1975, a new show calling itself the Super Soul Musical, Wonderful Wizard of Oz, started performances right here at the Majestic Theater. Now, a stellar creative team is bringing The Wiz back to audiences. The Broadway show will go behind the scenes of this new production as it eases on down the road to U.S. cities on its way back to Broadway. First up, I'm sitting with director Schele Williams. Schele, so happy to see you. You are the woman who is going to help bring The Wiz, one of my favorite musicals, back to Broadway after almost 45 years. How does it feel for you to even just process that statement?
I feel so honored more than anything. I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the world. I cannot wait to share this beautiful story again with people who love it, like you, and to introduce it to new generations.
I don't know if people really understand the initial impact when this show landed on Broadway. It was big.
It was seismic.
Yeah, seismic.
It's interesting because when the show first opened, there wasn't a lot of confidence that it was going to be lasting, right?
Right.
And then that commercial came out.
Believe in the magic that's inside your heart, and believe in the wiz, not because I told you to.
It took 2 seconds for people to go, what was that? It was like, and then the tickets started selling, and then they never stopped. It's also, a show where Black people were like, oh, this is us. Not just Black people on stage.
Right, yeah.
But real authentic representation. Stephanie Mills' voice did not sound like it had come out of a conservatory. She sounded like she came out of church. And that sound, what Jeffrey Holder did in his direction and his costumes, it's like, that's us. George Faison's choreography showed the world that Black bodies can do all kinds of things. It was the first time, I saw contemporary dance on Black bodies. A real elevation of what I had seen. I was so happy for Soul Train and seeing that growing up on TV. I knew that we could do that. I didn't know we could do that. So The Wiz taught me so much about my Blackness at a young age when I saw it in Dayton, Ohio. And then I saw what looked to me like a little girl, although she was older than me. I mean, I was 6, 7 years old when I saw it. But I saw myself. And although we went to go see all the touring shows, it's the first time I saw me on stage. And that was exciting. Many Broadway creatives have tried to bring the musical, originally seeped in 70s soul culture, back to Broadway without crossing the finish line. But Williams is confident that now is the perfect time for The Wiz to return. Many years have passed. We're in a different point in the world. How are you what's your entry point for a vision for this new production? My entry point are my two girls. I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. And when I started the show a couple years ago, I kept thinking about what are they looking to see when they see Dorothy? And when I read the script, what I saw was a girl who was seeking belonging, who felt like she didn't fit in where she was. And she gets put on an adventure where she has to go beyond her comfort zone. And she finds her tribe. And every person that she finds is a little quirky. And they're all kind of seeking their own sense of belonging. And they have challenges that they face. And they have to face their fears, and they have to overcome. And then they meet someone who's like, I can fix everything for you, right? But what they realize is they have to solve their own problems. They have to be brave. They have to learn how to rely on each other. And at the end of the story, she learns that she must believe in herself. And she is exactly where she needs to be, and she has exactly what she needs to have, and she has great purpose. And when I saw that in the story, I was like, oh, that's a gift to my daughters. This is a Black girl who has to figure it out. And I'm excited to tell that story to her. One of the things that we've changed about the production and the way that it's traditionally been done is that the Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man, it was really important for me that they were her peers. Usually they're like her uncles, right? But I wanted her to navigate the world with her friends. Because I feel like young people today really do have to find their tribe, especially when they're a little different in some way. And they have to find people that accept their differences and love them and celebrate them and grow with them. So I was really excited for them to all kind of be on a level playing field and for them to all grow on this adventure.
Can't you feel a brand new day?
Joining Williams behind the scenes of The Wiz are creatives like Beyonce choreographer Jaquel Knight, Black Panther production designer Hannah Beachler, and Tony-nominated writer Amber Ruffin.
There's been so much influence over, of Blackness over culture that I really wanted this to be like a celebration of Black excellence. And I wanted the show to look timeless, to feel timeless. I wanted every generation who comes to see it to see themselves inside it and to see the incredible impact that Blackness has had on culture. So you're gonna hear different musical styles, you're gonna see fashion that kind of gleans from all of these different periods of time. And I'm really excited to show that broad, vast of impact, that Blackness has had on culture.
So what was it like assembling your new cast? I know this is a show everybody wants to be in. I'm sure there was a lot of interest.
Oh my gosh. The amount of emails, Instagram posts, videos from high school productions.
Right.
I mean, in every way. Cold phone calls that I would get, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my number's on the internet. I mean, I'm gonna get emotional thinking about people saying, I've never been in a room like this. Me looking at the room and going, when I started auditioning 32 years ago, I was one of 3 in the room and knew all 3 of us weren't gonna get the job. Only one of us would be that representative in that show. It is that I will never forget. I'll never forget Jaquel's first audition for, auditioning dancers for Broadway Show. And him going, the talent here, the people who flew in from all over the country.
What about running an audition room with a Black creative team, and this is an all-Black company?
Yeah.
These are rare opportunities.
I've been in this business for 32 years. I never had that. I never walked into a room and saw a creative team telling a story about my culture that looked like me. And that was not lost on anyone in that room. And just, you could see the hope, the awesomeness of what we were about to do, that we were looking, I always think about auditions as, you're gonna be my dream come true, right?
Yeah.
I was an actor for so long, and all I wanted to do was be someone's dream come true. And people would come in and they would look at a room where everyone looked like them. And they knew that they weren't going for 1 slot, maybe 2. They knew that they authentically had opportunities to fully be themselves in that space, and it would be respected, it would be cherished, it was wanted, fully wanted. If I ever felt that way, I might still have been performing.
And bringing it to Broadway is the goal, and there have been many productions in my time over the last 30 years that have tried to reboot The Wiz. This feels like this might be the one with the special dust on it, Glinda's special fairy dust.
Yeah, it does feel like this yellow brick road has a very magical destination, and I'm so excited.
The pre-Broadway tour of The Wiz starts September 23rd at Baltimore's Hippodrome Theater, the exact spot the show first premiered 48 years ago.